We're back with Dr. Deborah Dorrell, a dermatologist at Novant Health Premier Medical Associates in Winston-Salem. We're talking about all different types of hair loss and treatments, and we are taking your questions, the number there at the bottom of your screen, so you can take a look at that. All right, so this person says, what do I do about dandruff?
Dandruff is a very common problem. I like some of the over-the-counter shampoos. One of them is called Nizoral, and Head and Shoulders also has a lot of great shampoos with a zinc base. And seborrheic dermatitis or dandruff is something that's a chronic issue. People will experience it frequently. It's not something that you can cure. So if you buy yourself a shampoo and you find it is helpful, continue to use it at least once a week. Make it a part of your routine so that it doesn't come back.
Okay. What about treatments like Rogaine? Do they really help? I mean, that's a name that we all know.
Yes, Rogaine can be really helpful in the right circumstances. So when I evaluate a scalp and I look at people with hair loss, depending on the type of loss, I will recommend it. And for people with male pattern and female pattern, so the typical kind of aging hair losses we see, it can be very helpful. And there are two formulations that are popular these days. You can use a topical where you're actually applying it onto the scalp, and that comes in either like a liquid or a foam. Or we can prescribe an oral pill of Rogaine, or the generic name, which is minoxidil. And that can be nice because it's less cumbersome to put on the scalp, but it does have more systemic side effects.
Okay. This person says, what can be done for my eyebrows? I'm guessing that they are losing their eyebrows.
So eyebrow hair loss can come with some of the inflammatory hair losses of the scalp, including alopecia areata. So if you've seen other hair loss elsewhere on your head, I would have you go see a dermatologist. Some people will put Rogaine on the eyebrows. I think that's fine as long as it doesn't cause too much facial irritation. But with the caveat that if you're getting Rogaine elsewhere on your forehead, you could grow hair there too, and you might not want it there.
Oh, yeah, get that. Okay. This person says, I have a hyperactive thyroid and Graves' disease, and I'm losing my hair. Is there anything I can do for it?
So those are absolutely connected. Thyroid dysregulation can cause hair loss. In this case, the most important thing is to normalize your thyroid levels. So absolutely work with your endocrinologist or your primary doctor about getting those under control. The hair loss will follow as far as normalizing. In the meantime, it's reasonable to use Rogaine.
Okay, there's a couple of chemotherapy type questions here. This first one is, I lost my hair after chemo 18 years ago. Most grew back, but I do have bald areas. Is this permanent?
After 18 years, I would imagine it is permanent. It's possible that there was some element of a scarring hair loss in those spots, which hasn't come back, or they were just hit really hard by the chemo and they're probably not going to come back, I would imagine.
Okay. And this person says, I had chemo in 2013. My hair came back, but it's much thinner. Is there anything I can do now?
It's really interesting. After chemotherapy with hair regrowth, even after types of alopecia, when the hair regrows, it can come back in a different texture, sometimes even a different color. And so I imagine, again, that hair thinness is probably a permanent change.
Okay. This person says, I usually wear ponytails and my hair is breaking at the root. How do I fix this?
So this is a type of alopecia called traction alopecia. When you are wearing a hairstyle frequently, that puts too much tension or tugging on your hair at the root, those hairs can fall out. Over time, if you continue to do this, it can become a scarring type of hair loss where you can't regrow those hairs. So my recommendation is to wear a hairstyle that has less tug on the scalp. If your hairstyle is ever painful, it's too tight and you could lose hairs.
Okay, but for the rest of us who are sometimes putting our hair up in the bun or a ponytail or pigtails or whatever, is that okay?
Absolutely. Intermittent hairstyles like that are fine. If you have a history of traction alopecia, though, I recommend against it.
Okay, all right. We are continuing to take your questions, so you can get those in. We've got one more segment left right now.